Fifth grade, chapter 8, lesson 2. Problem solving uses multiplication. Unlock the problem. Erica makes 6 submarine sandwiches and cuts each sandwich into thirds. How many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does she have? Read the problem. What do I need to find? I need to find the number of 1/3 size pieces Erica has after she cuts the 6 sandwiches. What information do I need to use? I need to use the size of each piece of sandwich and the number of sandwiches she cut. How will I use the information? I can draw a diagram to organize the information from the problem. Then I can use the organized information to find the number of 1/3 size sandwiches she gets from 6. Solve the problem. Since Erica cut 6 submarine sandwiches, my diagram needs to show 6 rectangles to represent the sandwiches. If she can divide each of the 6 rectangles into thirds. To find the total number of thirds in the 6 rectangles, I can multiply the number of thirds in each rectangle by the number of rectangles. So we said 6 divided by 1/3 equals 6 times 3 because each sandwich was cut into 3 pieces, and 6 times 3 equals 18. So Erica has 18 1/3 size sandwich pieces. Try another problem. Roberto is cutting 3 blueberry pies into halves to give to his neighbors. How many neighbors will get a half-size pie piece? Read the problem. What do I need to find? The number of neighbors that will get a half-sized piece of pie. What information do I need to use? 3 full pies, and he's going to cut the pies into half. How will I use the information? We will draw a diagram with 3 full circles to cut each circle in half. So then we drew our 3 circles. We put a line down the center to cut them in half, and we said 3 divided by 1/2 equals 3 times 2 because each circle had 2 pieces in it, which 3 times 2 was 6. So 6 neighbors will get a half-size piece of pie. Explain how the diagram you drew for the division problem helps you write a multiplication sentence. We saw that each of the 3 pies was cut into 2, so we took 3 times 2, which equals 6. Share and show. A chef has 5 blocks of butter. Each block weighs 1 pound. She cuts each block into 4ths. How many 1/4 pound pieces of butter does the chef have? First, draw rectangles to represent the blocks of butter. So we drew 5. First of all, we underlined our information. We said there were 5 blocks cut into 4ths, and then how many 1/4 pieces of butter does the chef have? So first of all, we drew 5 rectangles. Then we cut each one of the rectangles into how many pieces? 4 size pieces. And then we said that 5, because we have 5 rectangles, times 4, because there was 4 pieces in each, equals 20. So the chef has 20 1/4 pound pieces of butter. What if the chef had 3 blocks of butter and cut the blocks into thirds? How many 1/3 pieces of butter would the chef have? So what do we need to underline? 3 blocks and 1/3 size pieces, right? So how many rectangles am I going to draw, guys? 3. So 1, 2, 3. How many pieces am I breaking each one of those into? Thirds. So 3 pieces for each rectangle. So if I write 3 divided by 1/3, I would also write 3 times. How many of those blocks how many pieces did I break each one of those blocks into? 3. So 3 times 3 is? 9. So 9. 9 1/3, right? 1/3 pound pieces. Jason has 2 pizzas that he cuts into 4ths. How many 1/4 size pizza slices does he have? So what do I need to underline? 2 pizzas into 4ths. And then how many 1/4 size pizza slices does he have? So how many circles do I draw? 2. How many pieces do I cut each one into? 4, right? Okay, so my number sentence will be what? 2 divided by what? 1/4 equals, and I had 2 pizzas. How many pieces in each pizza? 4. So 2 times 4 equals 8. So we write 8. What, guys? 1/4 size pieces. Or pizza slices, right? Thomas makes 5 sandwiches that he cuts into thirds. How many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does he have? So what do I need to underline? 5 sandwiches cuts into thirds. How many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does he have? So how many rectangles do I need to draw? 5. And how many pieces do I cut each one of those into? 3. So what's my number sentence going to say? 5 divided by 1/3 equals, and how many sandwiches? 5. How many pieces in each sandwich?
3.
So 5 times 3 equals?
15.
So 15 what?
1/3
Okay, so 15 1/3 sized pieces. Holly cuts 3 pans of brownies into 8. How many 8-size brownie pieces does she have? So, what do I need to underline?
3 pans.
3 pans into 8. How many 1/8 size brownie pieces does she have? So I need to draw what, guys?
3 rectangles.
So 3 rectangles. And then I need to cut it into 8. So can I cut it in half and then cut it 4 ways? Does that give me 8 pieces? Yep. Okay, so what's my number sentence going to say?
3 divided by 1/3.
1/3. 3 divided by 1/8 equals 3, because I have 3 pans, times how many pieces? 8 pieces equals 24. So my answer is 24 1/8 size pieces. Alright. On your own, Julie wants to make a drawing that is 1/4 the size of the original. If a tree in the original drawing is 8 inches tall, how tall will the tree in Julie's drawing be? So what do we need to underline? That her drawing is
1/4.
so 1/4 the size of the original. And then the original drawing is 8 inches. How tall will the tree in Julie's drawing be? So like you learned on the last lesson, you have to decide what information goes first in your problem, right? It's not necessarily what's listed first in the problem. You need to decide what needs to go first. So what does need to go first in this case? The 8 inches. So 8 divided by what, guys? 1/4. Now, we could go ahead and draw a diagram for here, but what you guys learned the other day? The reciprocal. So what I told you guys is to circle this because you know that that's what you're going to flip, right? So in reality, we're going to write 8 divided by, not 1/4, but if I flip that or turn it upside down, it would become 4. So 8 divided by 4 equals 2. So 2 what? 2 inches, right? Three friends go to a book fair. Alan spends $2.60. Maria spends 4 times as much as Alan. Akio spends $3.45 less than Maria. How much does Akio spend? Okay, so we know that Alan spends what, guys? So Alan spends $2.60. Maria spends what?
4 times.
So Maria, she has 4 times as much as Alan. So we write 260 times what?
2 or 4.
Times 4. Okay. Akio spends $3.45 less than Maria. So Akio is Maria minus what? $3.45. And then they want to know, how much does Akio spend? So what are we going to have to do to find how much Akio spends? So what are we going to have to do first, guys?
Find Maria.
Okay, and what are we going to do to find Maria's?
260.
So $2.60 times
4.
4. So 4 times 0 is?
0.
4 times 6 is?
24.
Put my 4 mentally carry, or put my little 2 up at the top. 4 times 2 is?
8.
Plus 2 is?
10.
How many places do I move my decimal over?
Twice.
Twice. So my answer is?
1040.
$10.40. Now what am I going to do with that?
Subtract 45.
Okay, so subtract 345. Make sure my decimals are in line, right? First thing I do, drop down my
Decimal.
decimal. Can I take 5 from 0?
No.
So this 4 becomes a
3.
3. Can I take 4 from 3?
No.
So this becomes a
9.
13, and this becomes a 9, and this becomes a 0, right? 10 minus 5 is
5.
5. 13 minus 4 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. So Akio spent,
$6.95.
okay? Number 8. Brianna has a sheet of paper that is 6 feet long. She cuts the length of the paper into 6, and then cuts the length of each of these into 1/6 size pieces. Oh, of these 1/6 size pieces into thirds. How many pieces does she have? How many inches long is each piece? So basically we drew a 6-foot box over here. Then we broke it into 1/6 size pieces, so 6 different pieces in the 6-foot box. And we said that one section of that would be 1 foot thick. Then it says that they took those 1/6 size pieces and cut it into thirds. So then we decided that we had 18 pieces. And then we also knew that 1 foot had 12 inches, so that one section was 1 foot, but then they cut it into 3 pieces. So then we took 12 divided by 3, and then we got 4 inches. Number 9, write math. Pose a problem, look back at problem 8. Write a similar problem by changing the length of the paper and the size of the pieces. Bob had an 8-foot piece of paper. He cut the paper into 1/8 size pieces. Then he cut those into 4s. How many pieces did he have, and how long was each piece? So then basically if we were going to go work that out, we draw our box and then start over again, right guys? Okay, number 10, test prep. Adrian made 3 carrot cakes. He cut each cake into 4s. How many 1/4 size pieces does he have? So we'd underline 3 carrot cakes, and then you cut it into 1/4 size carrot into pieces. How many does he have? So we would write what, guys? 3 divided by 1/4 equals something. Okay? Now, if we're going to draw our picture, we'd have how many circles? 3. I'm going to cut them into how many pieces? 4. Into 4 size pieces. So really we had 3 whole pieces times how many pieces were in each cake? 4. 4, which equals 12. Now if I was going to write 3 divided by 1/4 and just do the reciprocal, so where I circle this, and I know I'm going to flip it, then I would know 3 times 4 equals 12. So letter B.